the television network of
Yes.
Malaysia. Hello. How are you?
The news, this is
You know how big it is? Are we subscribed to you? No? Very good.
all that now, yeah. Show you the.
So that's the chroma key.
Yeah. The biggest problem is in an old building like this, we should really go to the embassy.
So Dato Seri, this is 93.9. Happy 9th anniversary to Bernama Radio 93.9, real life, real time, on the 3rd of September. Happy anniversary, and keep it locked in on this radio station. Listen to your news, listen to entertainment, everything you want. This is Secretary Martin Andanar of the Presidential Communications Office of the Philippines. To thank Dato Seri for giving us a chance to learn the processes of television and radio news broadcasting here in Bernama, government news agency here in Malaysia. And since we are in the process of improving our state media in the Philippines, any education, any suggestion, and any chance opportunity to learn from our neighboring countries is welcome. Now, most especially that we are also in the verge of launching our own Muslim television in the Philippines, which is run by the government. We call it Salam Television and Salam Radio. Now, we definitely can learn from a country like Malaysia. One of the reasons also that I came here is as part of the delegation of the Philippine government for the implementation of the Bangsamoro peace agreement led by our esteemed Secretary Dureza, and also on the other side of the panel, the chairman of the MILF. So today we did a courtesy call to the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Razak, and he was very cordial and welcomed us warmly. And the Prime Minister and the head of our Philippine delegation, Dureza, spoke of continuous cooperation and establishing a very strong bilateral relationship in terms of helping the government achieve peace in the southern region of the Philippines, which is Mindanao, and to continue and asking the Prime Minister for the assurance not to leave us in this path towards peace in Mindanao until it is achieved. And Prime Minister Najib Razak did commit that he will work until Mindanao achieves the economic progress or economic promise that it always has been for the last few decades. At the same time, the Prime Minister also committed to continually help the Philippine government achieve this peace. And one of the reasons why it was held here in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, was because also in recognition for the unwavering support of Malaysia to the peaceful negotiation between the MILF and the Philippine government.
Over the years, yeah?
Over the years. And so now it is a welcome development that finally the government of the Philippines and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front has now launched the implementing panels. And these implementing panels, we can say, is more inclusive in achieving this goal of peace. And one of the development is adding more members to the Bangsamoro Transition Committee, 10 coming from the government and 11 coming from the MILF. So this should be a very positive step, because we are now including the other groups and factions that have felt that they were left behind in the last agreement.
So what do you think about the discussion between two countries, between Malaysia, to set out about Bangsamoro, especially in Mindanao itself?
It is very important, the bilateral relations in terms of peace and economy. I think that now more than ever, our country, the Philippine government and the Malaysian government should continue with this cooperation, considering that we are very close neighbors and we have some security problems in the Sulu and the Sulawesi Sea. Yeah. And it is very important, and it is imperative for the Philippine government to cooperate, vice versa, in stopping the kidnap for ransom group Abu Sayyaf. The Philippine government will need the cooperation of Malaysia with its very powerful Malaysian Royal Navy, and it will also need the cooperation of Indonesia, because these are the countries that are most affected by this security product kidnappings and the extremists in that part of Sulu. The Duterte administration understands and knows very well what Malaysia has done to secure its borders. And as a matter of fact, just last Friday, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte visited Sulu, reiterated his support and reiterated his call to put a final stop to the kidnappings that are happening in this island. Earlier during the meeting, the courtesy call to the Prime Minister, Secretary Dureza brought this up, and he expressed that the Philippines is willing to activate this moribund BIMP Iaga. As a matter of fact, Prime Minister Razak welcomed this, and he was very excited, and he said that he wished for President Rodrigo Duterte to visit Malaysia and make it one of his first stops here in the ASEAN. What is very important here is that we have President Duterte as very excited and very willing and open and resolute in making sure that peace finally happens in Mindanao. Those issues that have been stopping this agreement from happening will be parked for now, for us to be able to move forward. The Philippine government truly welcomes the openness of the MILF, especially in allowing both panels to be inclusive in terms of being able to invite the other factions in Mindanao to join this Bangsamoro peace agreement implementation.
More than before.
More than before. By the end of this month, what will happen is the key figures in Philippine Congress will be in Davao, Mindanao, to discuss further how this can be addressed quickly and acted quickly by the Philippine Congress. So the Bangsamoro Basic Law now becomes a reality, not only in words, in deeds, but in law. As we all know, has its unorthodox solutions to our incorrigible problems like drugs. And as the international community may be or should be aware already that there are more than 500,000 surrenderees or drug users and pushers who have presented themselves to the government. Our president, he has his own unorthodox ways. It's a left field solution, but it is within the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines.
Effective.
I was glad that we were able to have a very pleasant and very fruitful exchange with the Prime Minister, Najib Razak. I think we were able to coincide our thoughts and our interests as members of the ASEAN. We were talking about possible further enhancement of our engagements on a bilateral level, looking at the security concerns, very important, and of course the trade and tourism promotion concerns that must come hand in hand with our security challenges that we have to face and deal with, not only on a unilateral basis. There was mention about the initial work by our security sector on a trilateral basis, Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines, because we share common borders. Our borders are very porous, and we'd like to see to it that as we enhance our bilateral relations in trade, tourism, and investments, that we also deal strongly on the issue of security. So we have briefed him on the outcomes of our meetings with the MILF, and we have expressed the country and the President's personal gratitude to the great help that Malaysia had contributed in where we are today. And we have still invited Malaysia to continue keeping the course with us in our work for peace and development in the area. Our ambassador has been doing that every day of his life while here. We in the Philippines will have to pursue his initial work here, the spade work that he has done on the ground level, and we'll see to it that this will attain better heights of achievements. We have a very able ambassador, not to say it in his presence, but I think it is not from my own assessment only. I have gotten this from other sectors who had closely monitored his work and the work of the total embassy staff here in Malaysia. He got a very strong message from us about our appreciation, and of course we relate our intentions if they can keep still with us, no longer as facilitator because the period of negotiations are over. We have put closure to the negotiations phase. We are moving to a very important phase, and which is the implementation phase. There's a lot of work to be done by our partners in making the implementation happen, and Malaysia, whom we have a very comfortable level in relationships, will be a very important player in this. I just would like to join the President's intentions of dealing strongly on certain issues, certain challenges, drugs, corruption, criminality, but high in his priorities, of course, a peaceful end to our conflict with our Bangsamoro and with the CPP and PNDF. So we'll work together, and this is not only the work of the President. Principally, this should be a work of us stakeholders, where if you want an early success to these efforts.